Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to review Grapple Tournament VR, a game released on the Steam store November 5th, 2020 by developer Tomorrow Games. It released in early access for all the major VR headsets. I can confirm it works perfectly fine on the Oculus Quest 2 using the Oculus Link cable. There is single player and multiplayer. It normally retails for $24.99. I got a free Steam key through the Steam Creator Connect program to review this game. So I know most people have two questions. One, is it any good? And two, how is the player base? Well, okay, let's talk about that. One, is it good? Yes, I had fun playing this game. How is the player base? Right now, it is a small player base. When I played on a Saturday afternoon, there were anywhere between 3 to 6 players at all times when I played. So that's a positive sign, but obviously not as many players as you'd want to see in a multiplayer game. We'll see if the population grows for this game or not. It's always a risk when you buy a VR multiplayer game that the population will stop existing. So it's always a possibility. It is also in early access, and so far it's pretty polished. I haven't noticed any major issues. And the best way I can describe Grapple Tournament is not my own words. It's actually from another Steam reviewer, Bot Blaze, who basically called it its Unreal Tournament 2004 in VR with grappling hooks. And that's probably the best description I can give for this game. That's exactly right. That is how this game feels. I had fun playing this game, but let's talk about the game more in depth. The game is running on the Unreal Engine. On my RTX 3080, I was getting 60 frames per second on the Oculus Quest 2 using the Oculus Link cable at the highest graphical settings for everything, which was a little surprising. I'm not sure why it was running at 60 frames per second instead of the normal 72 frames per second. However, the game was running smoothly. I never noticed any issues with stutter or delay or any networking problems. So it didn't affect gameplay at all. So it was running pretty steady, but just at a 60 frames per second versus the expected 72 frames per second on the Oculus Quest 2. You do have full locomotion and smooth and snap turning available. There's lots of settings available, from graphical settings that you can change to make the game run better, to whether you want controller-based movement or camera-based, even how fast you want a smooth or snap turn. There's lots of settings available to customize the experience, tailor it to how you prefer it, so I really enjoy that. I wish more developers would do that, especially in early access. It's very important to have that already in your game before you release it, so that's good to see in early access. Like I mentioned, I did not experience any bugs at all. The UI could have looked better, could have been a little snazzier, but it was functional and it worked. You do have single player where you can go against bots. There's a tutorial. You can also do some parkour, and then you can go multiplayer. There's only quick play available. Once you go into quick play, you do have the ability to select from free-for-all to team deathmatch to capture the flag, hold the objective type game mode, and you also select from 5 different maps. I do like the layout of the different maps. There's a lot of verticality, and that's very important in this game because your grappling hook is something that's very important. I know in my video I did a really bad job of utilizing the grappling hook. I was using a lot of two-handed weapons. I was going pretty slow and methodical. You could play it that way, but I really think where this game shines, where you really do well, is if you're not always two-handing the weapon and you are using the grappling hook in order to get in and out and flank enemies and get out of danger really quick, just depending on the situation. That's really the best way to play this game. Also, I didn't use any of the melee weapons, or I also didn't use the bow and arrow. I just didn't know how. Now I do, but when I recorded the video gameplay, I just didn't realize how you get out the bow and arrow, or how you even unsheath your sword that you have on your shoulder. It's pretty dumb of me, but I'm much better now. But yeah, there's different ways to play this game, and I really enjoyed that. You don't have to be slow and methodical. You can actually just decide to swing around the map, get in and out of combat. All the weapons feel different. There's a huge variety of weapons. I didn't show off all the possible weapons, but you see here that I did very well with the rocket launcher. That was my favorite weapon, so that's why I was going a little bit slow. But it does have like a big weakness. If your enemy is above you, there's not much you can do with a rocket launcher against them. So there is a little bit of rock, paper, scissors. There's another gun that you saw earlier where it had like a shield. It was like a minigun. And it's really great because obviously you have lots of ammo, but it has a long reload. And you're just very slow when you're using that weapon. Obviously you can still decide to one-hand it, but if you do, you lose the shield. So you lose some of the benefit by not two-handing the weapon. Several weapons also have an alternate fire, so beware of that. Some weapons do have alternate fire, so there are situations when you do want to two-hand the weapon, but honestly in this video I was two-handing weapons too much for no good reason. That was just bad gameplay on my part, and I do apologize. And I wish I had shown off some melee weapon. The swords here look really cool, and you can use them very strategically when you're close to enemies to finish them off really quick. Gotta take out that melee weapon. The bow and arrow seems like it might be a little dubious to try to use bow and arrow with all the other weapons, but since I didn't test it out, I can't really say. But this game is fast-paced. 3-on-3, the maps feel like the perfect size. You can still like get out of combat if you need to, but you can always come right back to it. If you have less than 3-on-3, then they might seem a little too big, but I think since it's meant for 3 versus 3, the maps are the perfect size, and there's a lot of variety within the 5 maps that are currently included in the game. I also liked all the different weapons. They had like different weaknesses and different strengths, although there were a few weapons that I felt were just a bit underpowered and not very useful. So I hope the weapons do get balanced so that each one of them has something positive and something negative. Right now it seems like, yeah, a lot of them are really cool. Some of them are good at long range, some of them are good at short range. There's weapons that are very good from above, some that are good behind cover, but definitely some weapons just felt a bit underpowered compared to the other ones. I should also add here that you can chain your different abilities. You have a double jump that you can chain with the grappling hook, and also you do have a climbing ability, but I honestly did not use that very much during the actual gameplay. I'm not sure if it's useful other than when you're close to falling off the map. You can use the grappling hook to grab onto the wall and then just climb yourself back over the ledge. That's really the only use I found for the actual climbing during real gameplay. Since I only played about 2.5 hours of this game, I'm only going to call this an initial impressions review. My main concern is about the player base, whether it will continue to grow or not. I have no idea on that, but I can say that I had fun playing this game. It does feel like Unreal Tournament 2004 in VR with grappling hooks. If that sounds cool for you, then go ahead, give this game a try. I think you'll like it. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you liked my review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.